All right, let's talk about how to fix a leaking bolt, or in this case, this is a newly installed flow moto, I believe it's called. It's a drain valve for your oil pan, which does exactly what you're seeing. It makes it so you don't have to take a bolt out when you change your oil, which I think is pretty cool. Keep in mind, if you got a Tacoma like this, you need to get one that's not as long if you're going to use it off-road, or you don't have a skid plate. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Anyway, I bought this, installed it with the washer it came with to about 20 Newton meters, or the manufacturer's specification, and it leaked. It didn't work. So I ordered some gasket sealant / thread sealant on Amazon and some copper washers, and installed those to fix the leak. So that's what we're going to watch today. First things first, though, we're draining the oil in a beaker because it's good oil. It's only been in the truck 9 days. Looks dirty though. And now we're going to install the LOCTITE thread sealer and one of these copper washers. So first things first, we're draining the oil, and now we are going to remove the old bolt. So we have a crow's foot on a wrench, and I'm just using the torque wrench for this because I don't want to use one wrench for this job. So once we get that loose, we'll take it off. And after this, I just waited for all the oil as much as possible to just drip out of that oil pan into the beaker. We can see that I put 5 liters in and only about 4.5 came out. So there's still some in the engine, or that just leaked out while this thing was leaking. So I need to get it back up to spec eventually, one thing at a time. This video, we're just going to focus on getting the new bolt in. So once we let it drain, then we're going to prep the bolt with sealant and the copper washer. All right, so this is the old bolt with the original. It's like a paper gasket, paper washer. So just scrape that off, got it nice and clean. And then once it was very clean, pop our copper washer on. After that, we get our thread sealant, and we're just going to put a nice dab of that in a circle around this fitting surface. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of thread fastener that's going to get up into the oil pan. I just want it on the bottom part of the threads so that we'll have a nice sealant surface between the brass fastener, the copper washer, and the oil pan itself. So that's what we did there, and now we're ready to screw this guy back on. We can see we still have about 1 drip a second, so it's not perfect, but in theory this should work really well. Just got to get those threads started, which was a little tricky for me while holding the GoPro and using my right hand to thread, but we got it started, and there we go. Get it hand tight, and then we're ready to go with the crow's foot, starting with about 20 pounds of torque. So once we got our bolt tightened within our specification, do a quick camera inspection of all the sides, clean it up with a towel, a shop towel, and then lay down another shop towel. Well, let's put some oil in this thing first. You never want to leave an engine without oil in it. Put our oil back in, and then we'll put a shop towel down underneath the bolt and put some rocks on it, leave it all night, and see if we have any drips of oil. So that's what we're going to look at next. It is the next day, and that little drip there is actually not from oil. It is from something else. So we have a perfectly dry surface here. That's what we want to see. In any case, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you around.